Welcome to TYP Spiritual Compass, a podcast created with one clear mission to equip young people for their future, not just academically or professionally, but spiritually, emotionally, and purposefully. In a world that constantly pressures youth to chase success, validation, and identity from external sources, many are quietly asking the same questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do with my life? This podcast exists to speak to those questions through faith, wisdom, and lived experience. I've learned in my own walk with God that purpose isn't something we stumble upon by accident. It's something we grow into through obedience, discipline, reflection, and trust in God's timing. Through triumphs, setbacks, uncertainty, and moments of divine intervention, my calling has become clear: to help equip the next generation to walk boldly in the purpose God already placed inside of them. This is a space for honest conversations, biblical truth, real-life testimonies, and practical guidance. Because purpose unfolds over time, and God is faithful to guide those who seek Him. Hey everyone, TYP Spiritual Compass here with you all. And I want to talk to you today about something you really need to hear. Not to scare you, but because your future matters. One of the biggest lies that people tell young people is just be yourself and everything will work out. I wish life were that simple. The truth is, the environment around you has enormous influence over who you become. And the people you spend your time with, the conversations you listen to, the spaces you live in, those things slowly shape your thoughts, your habits, your decisions. And the scary part of it is sometimes the environment feels normal. Sometimes it feels good, but that doesn't mean it's good for your future. Let me explain something fascinating about your brain. Your brain is constantly changing based on what it experiences. Scientists call this neuroplasticity. That simply means that your brain is always forming and strengthening connections based on what you see, hear, and experience every day. If you spend time around people who complain all the time, your brain starts wiring itself around negativity. If you spend time around people who are disciplined, focused, and purposeful, your brain begins strengthening those patterns instead. So researchers have even discovered something called behavioral contagion. And that means attitudes and behaviors spread through groups of people, almost like a virus. Habits spread, mindset spread, confidence spreads. And unfortunately, so does distraction. Your brain learns what normal looks like based on your environment. And once something feels normal, it becomes easier to repeat. Let me tell you about a student I once knew. He started high school with big dreams. And he was curious, motivated, really bright. But he started spending time with a group of friends who didn't take school seriously, and to the point that I was just like, Javon, what are we doing? But kids are going to be kids. They're going to hang out with who they want to hang out with. in the environments they feel comfortable in at that moment. Not to say that the friends were bad people, they just had a different attitude about life, likely shaped by their own environments at home, in their own individual personal lives. They joked about skipping assignments, they laughed at people who studied too hard, and they made discipline look uncool. And slowly, without even realizing it, Javon started changing. He stopped trying as hard. He began believing that trying to succeed made you look weird. His intelligence never changed, but his environment slowly reshaped his behavior. So this is how environments typically work. They don't usually destroy your direction overnight like a pimp, pop, pimp, pow. Like, that's not how it works. It's usually like this very slow, incremental nudge off track. And another example I can think of is I once knew this young girl who said something that stuck with me. And she said, "I'm just going with the flow. I'll figure life out later." That phrase, at first, it sounds harmless, but I want you to hear something clearly. Contrary to popular belief, going with flow destroys your flow. Purpose does not happen by drifting, folks. It requires intention. And if you constantly go wherever the environment pulls you, whatever your friends are doing, whatever the culture is celebrating, you may wake up one day and realize you drifted far away from who you were and meant to become. Drifting always feels easy in the moment, but it often leads to regret later. And one of the clearest examples I can think of in the Bible is with King Solomon. Solomon started his life incredibly strong. He asked God for wisdom. He built the temple, the first temple. He led his nation with understanding. But then something slowly changed. Over time, he started to surround himself with influences that pulled his heart in the wrong direction. His environment changed so much so that it shifted his priorities. And what started as wisdom slowly turned into compromise. And the consequences didn't just affect him. They affected generations after him. His kingdom eventually divided. The spiritual direction of the entire nation shifted. This is why environments matter so much. Because your life isn't just about you. We're here to build something that will transcend beyond this generation. The wrong sphere can kill the seed that was meant to feed people generations after you. The environments you choose today shape the legacy you leave tomorrow. So if you're listening to this and realize your environment might not be helping you grow, don't panic, but take it seriously. Here are 3 important steps. Step 1, be honest about your influences. Take a moment and ask yourself, who do I spend the most time listening to? What attitudes surround me every day? Are the people around me helping me grow, or are they keeping me comfortable? Honesty is the first step towards change. Step 2, you don't need perfect friends, but you need people who respect your decision and your direction. People that are going to encourage discipline. People who don't mock you for wanting something bigger in life. The right circle protects your purpose. The wrong circle slowly breaks it down. Step 3. Your environment isn't only physical, it's also mental and spiritual. So you want to make sure you're creating daily anchors that help you reset your direction. And some of these daily habits include spending time in prayer, reflecting on your goals, reading something that challenges your thinking. These practices keep your mind grounded so that the environment around you doesn't control your direction. So we're going to do a quick recap. Step 1, you want to make sure you pay attention to your environment. So assess your environment regularly is the first step. Okay. Step 2, you want to make sure you're choosing your circle carefully. All right. If the people in your circle right now are not propelling or compelling you to walk in your purpose and calling, that's probably not the right circle of friends for you. All right. And then step 3, make sure you create those daily anchors that are going to keep you focused and honed in on the priorities that are conducive to your purpose. Okay, it's the internal work is what I'm referring to here. Okay, that's that meditation, that prayer, that goal setting, really just that quiet time with yourself, with your inner man, inner woman, to make sure you're not veering off course. And you'll just know, like your spirit isn't going to lie to you. You'll know, like, I should be doing this right now, but I'm not doing what I need to be doing. Let me get myself back on track. So let me leave you with something important. Your future is not shaped by one big moment. Okay, that's the lie. It will be shaped by the environments you live in every day, the voices you listen to, the habits you allow, the circles you stay in. Protect your environment. Guard your influences, because environments don't just shape behavior, they shape destiny. And if you want your life to flow in the direction God designed for you, you can't just go wherever the current takes you. You have to choose your sphere wisely. Your future is paying attention to the environment you choose today. So with that, TYP Spiritual Compass here with you all, over and out. As we close, remember, this journey isn't about perfection, it's about progression. Purpose unfolds step by step as we walk with God daily, even when the path feels unclear. If this episode spoke to you, I invite you to sit with it this week, pray on it, journal through it, and ask God where He's leading you next. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs encouragement, and join me again as we continue learning how to live with faith, wisdom, and purpose. Your life is not random, and God is intentional about revealing His purpose in His perfect time. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, TYP Spiritual Compass. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. I'm looking forward to seeing you all on all of my social media platforms. TYP Spiritual Compass, over and out.